Hi, this is Scott. Welcome back to another Hollinger Team video blog. This being the year-end recap for the year 2021 and all the interesting things that happened during the year or didn't happen during the year that I'd like to share with you. So first off, let's start out with overall residential and land activity in Flathead and Lake County combined. There were a little over 3,000 closings last year compared with about 3,300 the year before. So about a 10% decline in the number of transactions. Prices went up, which probably is reflective in that. There are 353 homes currently on the market and almost as many pending, 375. So definitely a lot of the numbers you're going to see in this video show not very much for sale, and a good volume of activity as far as sales go for what is or what has come on the market during the last year. On the land side, that was pretty close, 1,490 closings this year compared to 1,436. So really almost a negligible difference there. Interesting thing, 367 vacant properties are currently for sale. 121 are pending, and so I think that has slowed down and some, I think, towards the end of the year simply because of the lack of contractors to build, and then also the whole being able to get materials and everything down to bathtubs and all kinds of stuff there. So it'll be 2022 is going to be interesting to see what the differences are between this last year and what's to come. I don't have a crystal ball, so I'm not going to make any predictions. Now let's go on to Flathead Lake. Flathead Lake is the only recap where we're going to include the fourth quarter numbers and as well as the year in recap, but just to show you kind of what the activity was like the last quarter of the year. All the rest of the properties, all the other lakes, the numbers frankly were so small throughout the whole year that you'll see here. We're just doing the year-end recap, and it'll show kind of how everything evolved through the year. On Flathead Lake, there were 21 closings last year, and that compared with 44 the year before. So a huge decline in the number of sales in the last quarter, and that reflected also into the year end, which was 74 closings this year compared with 119 last year. That's basically a 38% decline in the number of transactions. And I was thinking about all this report, and I thought, well, probably the best metaphor out there is the lakes are drying up. There's just nothing there to sell. So anyhow, there's 2 pending sales, and there's 17 remaining active, and I just don't remember ever seeing a number that low in 42 years. So interesting times. We'll see. Nature abhors a vacuum. We'll see what happens there. On the vacant land side, that again was down quite a bit. There were 17 transactions in 2020 and 6 in 2021 in the fourth quarter. So a huge drop off again there. Not quite as radical a drop for the total for the years, 24 for last year and 31 for the year before, but still off by 24%. Only 9 properties actively on the market, and there's 2 pending sales. So again, just small numbers to share with you, but at some point in time, we're going to see things swing and change, and I think maybe this year some people might think this is the right time to step up and go ahead and sell, and look for other opportunities out there in the real estate market. Flathead Lake condominiums used to be a pretty steady number, and it's still pretty steady, but it's smaller numbers. 17 sold in the last quarter this year compared with 20 the year before. 56 sold this year, which was pretty amazing because it seemed like there was so little for sale, and there really was. They would come and go very quickly. That was 56 sold this year compared with 75 last year, and so again about a 25% drop there. No pending sales, and there's only 2 condominiums for sale on all of Flathead Lake. On Echo and Blaine, like I was saying earlier, small numbers. So this is the entire year recap for Echo, Blaine, and Lake of the Woods. There were 10 home sales this year, which was really interesting because they kind of came and went very quickly. That compared with 7 sales the previous year. There's only 1 pending sale of homes between those 3 lakes, and right now there's currently not any homes on the market on any of those lakes. Land side saw again an uptick in the number of transactions, but I think if we look back in 2020, there probably was very little even for sales to create the 1 transaction in 2020 compared with 4 for this year. And we have 3 still remaining active vacant land listings on those lakes. They're all 3 on Echo Lake, nothing on Lake of the Woods or on Blaine, and there's 1 pending sale. So small numbers, but strong activity when things come on the market. Now out to Swan Lake and share with you what's happened on Swan Lake. Swan Lake was pretty steady as far as what came up for sale and what sold. Last year there were 4 homes that sold. The previous year there were 4 homes that sold. Going into 2022, we have 3 active and 1 pending home sale. So there's our magic number 4 if nothing else happens on Swan. On the land side, there was a lot more land in 2021 for sale than this last year. So there was three land sales this year, or in 2021, as opposed to 9. So a huge drop. No pending sales and only 2 current active listings on Swan Lake. On Swan River, same thing, same decline. There was 18 sales in 2021 for homes on Swan River and 6 this last year. So 60% drop in the number of transactions. There's no homes for sale on Swan River and no pending sales. Land side, 4 sales in the last year compared with 7 the year before. So again, about half as many, but that's also reflected in only 2 active listings currently and 1 pending. So at that point, we're going to see probably about the same numbers there, unless there's a lot of properties that come on the market. Then we can jump across Flathead and go over to Lake Mary Ronan. Not a lot of activity, but homes and land combined there. We had 2 transactions last year compared with 4 the year before. No pending sales, no active listings. So kind of boring if you like to hear numbers and see things happening, but that's kind of the way it is over there. Now on to the lakes west of Kalispell. We have Ashley, Bitterroot, and McGregor Lake, as well as Foys Lake included in our numbers there. And the home sales were pretty steady. 16 last year compared with 17 the year before, spread pretty well throughout all the lakes. But right now there's no pending sales and there's only 4 homes currently on the market. So only really a quarter of what the past 2 years sales numbers were. So that it'll be interesting to see what happens there. On the lake side, or I'm sorry, on the vacant land side on those lakes, again, I think we didn't see as many vacant properties for sale this year as the previous year. So 6 sales in the last year in 2021 compared with 18. Again, about a 2/3% decline. No pending sales, and there's only 3 active listings. So things seem to have kind of tapered off at the end of the year, both coming on the market and going under contract. So we'll see what this spring, winter and spring brings to the market as far as new opportunities. And then finally, up on Whitefish Lake, that one, yeah, that's another one that's very similar. 15 transactions for homes and land on Whitefish compared with 43 the year before. Again, a 2/3 decline. And then on all of Whitefish, there's only, in combination, two properties for sale on Whitefish Lake and 1 pending sale. So when we get into the first quarter update for this year, it'll be interesting to see how much happens between now and then. Anyhow, thank you for viewing the Hollinger Team video blog, the end of the year recap. Appreciate all the comments and feedback. Please subscribe to this channel, pass it on to your friends, and have a great 2022.